Welcome into Mile High Territory. Ryan Spilborghs, Troy Renck. This pod's going to be kind of fun. It's going to be quick. We are going to reflect on the draft that happened on Saturday, Rockies' first draft with this front office, and then get into the home run derby that's going to happen and the possible snubbing of Hunter Goodman. But I feel like there might be a little bit more to this story than what the public knows. All right, Troy. So this weekend on Saturday, Rockies got the first opportunity with Josh Burns and with Paul DePodesta to draft, and we felt like this was going to be a kind of an important time frame for the Rockies because it's the first opportunity for this new regime to draft the people that they want versus what we've seen in years past. Not saying that the years past wasn't successful because there are several homegrown talented players that are in the big leagues. However, there's also been a lot of failure from the previous drafts. I mean, if you look at the Rockies draft picks from 2010 to now, they are dead last in wins above replacement around all Major League Baseball. So this is a big deal for the Rockies to spin this thing around.
Yeah, I think with Hughes finally in the majors, that's their first pick of their last 16 first rounders that's on their active roster. Brendan Rodgers has had the highest WAR of any guys in I think that last 15, 16 years. Listen, I like the philosophy of going high-end college player. And Bale's younger. He was a sophomore eligible at 21 years old, non-throwing shoulder injury that might have dropped him a little bit. People I trust in baseball love this pick. He's a kid who fought through injury, played great in the SEC. He's an all-around player, switch hitter. I like that pick. He's a shortstop. They're collecting shortstops with Ethan Holiday playing shortstop as well. Obviously, they already moved Cole Carrick at the big league level off of shortstop. But I don't think you can have enough shortstops because mostly shortstops can play other positions. So no issue there. The kid, Logan Redmond, my son faced him when he was pitching to San Diego when Brady was at Pepperdine. I liked his stuff then, and he got even better at UCLA. He got shut down at the end of the year. We may not see him pitch this year, this summer, who knows? But I like that high end. And Daniel Jackson, again, we've learned Paul DePodesta likes to collect catchers. He gets the kid from Cincinnati. He gets Jackson. Reminds me when you guys claimed like Danny Arjuan back in the day, and I joked with Clint Hurdle. Haven't you cornered the market on catcher, all catch, no hit catchers? Like, how many do you need? But these guys hit. I mean, these guys hit, at least obviously in college. Jackson was the player of the year, consensus player of the year, 31 home runs, 26 stolen bases. I saw him play a bunch this year. Just a rare combination of speed and power at catcher. So if the SEC, if you believe it, and there's one scout I trust who's really involved with the SEC. I mean, they see it as kind of double-A baseball right now with these high-end guys. So I like it, Spilly. I like the idea that you're going to try to fast-track some of these guys. I know they have to meet metrics. It's not about getting them to the big leagues as fast as you can. But these SEC kids, for me, are coming in pretty ready to jump right into high A, double A.
Well, it's funny, too, because I got same thing. I had somebody from the outside reach out to me, and they were like, I love the Rockies draft picks. And I was like, what? I was like, explain it. And same thing. They said high upside college players. Majority of the draft picks in this year's draft of the 20 picks were college players. You have the Golden Spikes winner, the catcher you just talked about. But we also saw the Rockies draft a high school pitcher. And it's the first time the Rockies have gotten a high school pitcher in a long time. The last time they did that was 2012. So they end up drafting this kid, Tyler Putnam, who is a Battle High School in Columbia. And so he was the Gatorade Player of the Year for Missouri. And some of those numbers that he put up are just crazy. And I saw him the other day, talking about how he was supposed to go to college, but decided he wants to be a pro. So he's 18 years old. So there's a high upside high school pitcher, which kind of bucks the trend that the Rockies have had in a bunch of years. So that's really cool. That's really cool.
He was a Tennessee commit as well. I mean, this guy was an ace in every way. I think it reflects because obviously with the new NIL in college, and my son living that world right now, the high-end college guys, the high-end high school kids right now, if they don't think they're going to the top 5 rounds, they're going to go to college because they can make it in NIL money. There's no reason to go on the draft unless you don't like school. You just don't want to be in school. But for a lot of these kids, if you're going to get drafted in the 8th, 9th, 10th round and say, oh, 250,000, you can go to LSU and make $1 million. You can go to an SEC school and make $1.5 million, full ride scholarship, NIL money, and a car. So in theory, you develop into a first rounder. So you're making that money at 18, 19, and you're going to make more on the backside as a draft guy. Obviously, with pitchers, there's an injury risk. But Putnam, what it tells me is, and I don't know the kid, I saw his interview with the local TV station there in Missouri. He obviously has to trust the Rockies' development. Because I'll be honest, if you drafted me as a pitcher in the 5th round and I was committed to Tennessee in the previous regime, I would be going to Tennessee because I wouldn't trust their developmental plan. I just wouldn't. I trust Josh Burns' developmental plan. I trust the guy he's put in place. I don't know that it's going to work. I'm just saying he's got a track record now of guys with the Dodgers for the better part of 15 years doing right by guys to try to get them to the big leagues. Doesn't mean they're going to stay healthy. Doesn't mean that. But they have a vision for him. So I'm not shocked that a high school kid might have looked at it and said, you know what, this feels different, and I don't want to go to school. I want to go right into the pros. It's fascinating because most high school pitchers drafted by the Rockies, they're not looking to sign up right away. But this kid, maybe he's the outlier, and we look back 4 years from now and say, hey, remember when Putnam, as a high school kid, took their money, and look what happened to him. 21, 22, he's in the big leagues.
Yeah, and then there was another one. There was Logan Redman, who is with UCLA, and he was drafted 2nd round, 38th pick overall. And one of the numbers that stands out is he was, sub-3 ERA in the Pac-12, which is fine. Like, that's fine. But it was 60 innings pitched, 84 punch-outs. So we're starting to see some swing and miss. I haven't looked into his spin rates or extension. That's something that I think is important to Colorado, especially moving forward, is finding guys that have velocity with something front to back. That's what you and I have talked about. Front to back means changeup, curveball, split, something that can play at altitude where you're not worried about the break. I'm not saying that you can't throw curveballs or sliders at altitude. You just have to locate them in a different spot. But you're looking for some unique characteristics with fastballs now because we've seen it. The thing that we've seen with Gabriel Hughes in that one outing at Dodger Stadium and one outing in Colorado is he has late cut to his fastball. Late cut to the fastball is awesome. That tracks really, really well at Coors Field. So we'll see what kind of characteristics he has on the fastball. They ended up taking another right-hand pitcher, Ben Davis, not the former tall catcher from the San Diego Padres. Here's another guy that you start digging into his numbers: 47 innings pitched, 57 punch-outs. He was a reliever. So they drafted a reliever, not a starter, which is fine. Again, you're looking for arms on top of arms. Most likely the Rockies are probably going to start finding guys that they make as multi-leverage or multi-inning relievers because you can get them to the big leagues really fast. So you don't have to develop a starter in the same way that you develop in the lower minor leagues. You can rip through the minor league system if you have a multi-inning reliever that punches tickets and throws strikes. So that to me is very interesting with this overall draft so far. And it does feel like it's bucking the trend. The next thing I want to see from the Rockies is, from the position players group, is how big are these guys? We have seen Rockies drafts for the last, 15 years. Multi-sport athletes, lottery tickets, guys that have swing and miss, guys that might have power, they're showcase hitters, but without the hit tool, the true hit tool. It's something that I've talked to with Matt Arnold about, who is the president of baseball ops with the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Brewers have a type. It's short, athletic, high contact skills that translate directly to the big leagues. You can't learn to hit. You either hit or you don't. You either chase or you don't. There's things you can refine, but you can't go into the minor leagues if you're a lottery ticket that has speed and you can throw and you're super athletic and you're tall. Like, those guys fail, which is what we've seen time and time again, is that you've gone for guys that are learning how to hit, that swing a lot, that chase a lot, that miss in the strike zone. You can't do that. Nothing gets more exposed right now than swing and miss and chase in the big leagues. it's impossible to hit if those are your characteristics. So, well, I'm very fascinated to see if the Rockies have started to look for the high contact, in zone, low chase, smaller statured, athletic position player, because
I think
those work.
yeah, I think like Bell's 6'1", 205, so he's not like Tulo was 6'3", 205. Bell's 6'1", and Jackson's built like a fire hydrant. He's a catcher. He just runs really well for a catcher, but he's squatty, and both those guys, I watched a lot of Jackson's games. He doesn't swing and miss as much as you would think for a guy with that power. Now, I will say this: George's Park plays like Coors Field at times, especially down the lines. I think right field line there's like 300 feet. It plays at 300, but he makes a lot of contact. So we'll see. I mean, I just, and the Davis kid, I don't mind taking a reliever. Don't take one in the first round or second round, because you got to take, you got to give a chance that guy's going to be a starter for you. But you get into the fourth, fifth, sixth round, and you see a guy that's going to move quickly in the minors to be a seventh inning guy in a couple years, and then maybe a closer. I don't have issue with that. But to your point, I couldn't agree more, because when I coach, travel baseball, we had some pretty high level kids. We went to the biggest tournaments in the country. We kicked the ass of some of those showcase teams because they couldn't defend the bunt, they couldn't hold runners, they couldn't fundamentally execute a bunt, and they couldn't do anything. And what we would call it, I think back when you played, it's like 5 o'clock all stars. Guys at BP, man, you can't. That guy, look at his show at BP. It's like, yeah, they don't tell you what they're throwing during the game. They don't throw 65 miles per hour straight in the game. So you got to get guys to make contact. I don't even want to hear it. It's a non-discussion for me with Rockies players, outside of maybe one guy in the lineup. If he's going to hit 45 with 20 doubles, fine. I'll leave him alone at hitting 190 to 210. Every one of you other clowns better be able to make contact, because I'm not going to put up. I just can't put up with it. We watched it with Tolia, these guys, and I really do like Ryan McMahon, the person. It's just too many strikeouts, Billy. I can't have guys striking out 220 times with 21 home runs. That payoff does not work. That return on investment, ROI how about RIP to that ROI? I'm done with it.
Many people have this problem. I want to eat healthy. I have the willpower. I don't have the time and the organization. I need help. What do you do?
You go to Factor. I got 2 boys that are looking for the gains, and they always come in the house looking for food. Now they have actual healthy food that is great for them. And you know what? It's ready in the fridge for them to pop in and make it right away.
And they have meals built around your goals. It could be weight loss, overall nutrition, gains, more protein, fresh, never frozen, over 100 rotating weekly meals, including globally inspired flavors like Mediterranean and Asian. I get all kinds of different salads from Factor that I love. Quick, easy. They can be ready in 2 minutes. Head to factormeals.com/foul50 off and use code FOUL50OFF to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with new subscription only while supplies last until 9/27/2026.
I always like to make fun of the commissioner when I get a shot, because I do it with love, not out of spite. I've grown to know Rob Manfred over the last, 15 years, especially when I was part of the CBA negotiation back in 2012. But Rock Kolowski, is it Kolowski or Kolowski? Kolowski. So Rock was the first overall pick from the Chicago White Sox, and what was funny about it was Rob calls him Kalewski, and so forever it's a misspell or a missaying of his name, which I've done before. I had in 2015. I was at Secaucus, and I had the opportunity to do the Rockies compensation pick, and it was Tyler Nevin. I got the name right, but instead of calling it Poway, which is where he was from in California, I called it Poway. And so I butchered that. And like Tyler Nevin and Phil Nevin both wear me out every time they see me. And I'm like, dang it. But to be honest and to be fair, there are some nerves when you walk up to that podium. Also, there's a lot going on. You got to read this thing. There, for some of these names, they're not easy to pronounce. But I would hope that the first overall pick, you'd at least get his name right. And it was funny, too, because the Chicago White Sox are in a great spot. They are really fun right now. They also have a shortstop in Colson Montgomery that reminds me of Kyle Seager. So for the White Sox to go ahead and take another shortstop, it kind of shows you that you don't draft for the current roster. You get the best available player, which Rockies in years past, if you remember, and I'll never forget this draft, it's worth talking about this again. In 2006, the Rockies had the chance with the second overall pick to draft big. And that was the year where Evan Longoria was a consideration. Walt Weiss even went and worked out with Evan Longoria at Long Beach State to go see if he could play some second base, because they were saying, like, hey, we already got Tulo at shortstop. We have Garrett Atkins at third on the big league roster. We have a kid in Ian Stewart in the lower minor leagues that is a top pick, and he's moving forward. So let's not draft Evan Longoria because we're kind of blocked. And it was a huge mistake by the Rockies. They could have also drafted Clayton Kershaw, but he was a kid that was committed to Texas A&M, high school kid. You possibly could have gone Tim Lincecum with the second overall pick. They ended up not choosing that because there was worry from Dan O'Dowd in that front office that he would break down. I still remember arguing with the Rockies front office along with Matt Holliday, going like, who cares if he breaks down? He's going to pitch in the big leagues this year. And could you imagine the alternate universe? Because the Rockies ended up taking Greg Reynolds from Stanford, who beat Tim Lincecum in a game. It was Washington against Stanford, and he went toe-to-toe. But you had a 93, 95 mile an hour average, tall sinker baller versus a short strikeout artist, and the Rockies failed this one miserably. Greg Reynolds did not have a great major league career, and of course Tim Lincecum was Tim Lincecum. Not saying that he would have been Tim Lincecum in Colorado, but could you imagine Tim Lincecum and Ubaldo Jimenez pitching for years together?
And even Frankie Morales. I remember that draft because Paul Cohen, Tulo's agent, was also Longoria's agent. He thought they were taking Longoria up to like midnight the night before. It was like, it's Evan. And then when they drafted Greg, just to be clear, one of the all-time good guys. I don't think he won a game with the Rockies. I think he won a couple of games in the big leagues. He never won a game with the Rockies, he or Jason Young. And Greg ended up bouncing around. I saw him a couple years ago during COVID, and he became a fireman. Good dude. I like Greg a lot, but he didn't work out. I'll never forget Bill Schmidt, the scouting director at that time. They make that pick. Remember, second overall, Spilly. Second overall. And he's like, yeah, he's got a chance. You look at his stuff and his contact rate and strikeouts per nine to be a pretty good fifth starter in the big leagues.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing? You can find fifth starters like Josh Fogg off the street every year. I'm not drafting a guy with the ceiling of a fifth starter of number 2. Now, I may take a guy number 2 overall who flames out, but he's got to have a high ceiling. I'm not taking a project. He literally was like, he projects as a fifth starter because at Stanford, Greg gave up just a crazy amount of hits. His sinker ball was in play, and he looked apart, 6'6", 2. But the ball's in play a lot. And this is in college. He projected him the day they drafted him as a fifth starter. And I'm like, what are we doing? What? Because that was the draft of Lincecum, of Kershaw. And I don't know if it was Scherzer. It was another dude from Missouri in there, another starter that was really good.
Oh, Scherzer's in that draft. Scherzer's in that draft. So is Ricky Romero. I mean, it was an all-time draft.
Round. Yeah, if you'd have just thrown a dart and hit any of those guys except Greg, God bless him, because I do like Greg, you would have probably had a legitimate big league pitcher. And it was just when he said it, I'm like, wait, what? Fifth starter? For guys taking first or second overall, you think they have a chance to be multi-all-star, maybe Hall of Famer. Like, that's the expectation when you go that high in the draft. Like, you're all-star. Like, you're talking about a fifth starter? You get that guy off the street. You can find that guy in Tucson. Just go down the street, watch the Mexican League game on Sunday and pull that guy. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, you can find it. Exactly. You can find an independent ball pitcher that's happened time and time again, or you can go to the MPB. You can get somebody from Japan. All right, let's spin our wheels to the Home Run Derby. This is going to be fun. This was, it's such a great event. It's like the crown jewel event for baseball. It's going to be on Netflix this time. They're switching up the rules, so I'm curious to see what it looks like. But Hunter Goodman really wanted to be in this thing, and we saw him, working with his dad at Coors Field, and then he had a slide at Dodger Stadium last week on Monday where he slid into home plate, kind of had a little bit of a collision with Dalton Rushing, and banged up his left hand. So he missed 2 days, and then he ended up coming back, and he was fine. But he wasn't asked to be in the home run derby for all accounts. Now, I don't know behind the scenes if they were going to ask him, and then there was this collision where they're like, I don't know if he wants to compete in it. I don't know if Major League Baseball was being a parent here and saying like, hey, we're trying to protect you. But really disappointing from a couple standpoints. He deserved to be in it. You can't make the argument that he was a Coors Field creation. We've talked about this. He has more homers on the road than virtually anybody in baseball. He wanted to do it. It's great publicity for Colorado. It's great publicity for him to be on that stage, and it would have been a really nice sentimental moment for him and his dad. Instead, they end up going with Murakami-san, who is the White Sox first baseman, who was off to an incredible start before he got hurt. So it goes Jack Caglione, Junior Caminero, Wilson Contreras. Bryce Harper's in it, Murakami, Ben Rice, Schwarber, and Jordan Walker. So it feels disappointing from a Rocky standpoint because it feels like we get neglected here. And the fact that Murakami's also coming back from an oblique injury kind of feels like, hey, well, if you're trying to protect Hunter, what about Murakami? But we know that this is a global sport, and maybe part of it is just getting the eyeballs of Japan on the home run derby. I'm not sure. But it does feel disappointing. It feels like the Rockies were slighted here.
I mean, it's a snub. Unless he somehow communicated through an agent back channel, don't ask me, then it's a snub of the highest order. There's no way he went through the theater of having his dad throw to him and get ready and then say, I haven't been invited. And then Major League Baseball's in on some elaborate thing of, hey, we just won't invite you. Why? He would just come out and say it. Listen, guys, I wanted to do it. My dad wanted to do it, but my thumb's acting up. Just say that. Nobody has a problem with that.
No.
It's unless that comes out, and I don't know why he wouldn't bring that out, why the Rockies wouldn't have been leaked that by MLB, like, hey, just get it out there. The reason he wasn't invited is because of the thumb injury. It looks like crap, and I'll tell you why. I covered so many Rockies teams where guys didn't get respect, and I wrote about this today in the Post. The 07 team, Matt should have won MVP. Tulo 100% should have won Rookie of the Year, and he should have won Gold Glove. Oh, it's the Rockies. It's the flyover team. They play in they're the only team in the Mountain Time Zone. They play without gravity. I've heard all the BS. Hunter Goodman has 18 home runs on the road. Leads all players in road home runs. He has more home runs on the road than Jack Caglione has overall. And I like Caglione. I wanted them to draft Caglione, the Rockies. I don't have issue with Caglione. Jordan Walker was this close to starting the year in AAA. This close.
Yeah.
It's a nice story. But you know what's a better story? A catcher with 27 home runs. Whoever made this decision from MLB needs to get Johnny benched. What a terrible decision. I mean, come on. And Hunter Goodman, you watch it. He hits moonshots. He hits lasers. He's breaking stuff. It's not like he's hitting a bunch of wall scratchers like Ben Rice. I like Ben Rice. What's he going to hit? 3 line drives over the fence? His home runs are not majestic. There's nothing about them that are appealing. I know why Caglione got invited, because he puts on a BP show. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. But Jordan Walker and Ben Rice, Contreras, come on. There's at least 3 guys he should be in over. And that list starts with Caglione because he only has 15. But if you want to say it's his BP, fine. Jordan Walker, he had to be in? Really? He had to be in? You're telling me that Ben Rice had to be in? And I'll throw another name. Does Bryce Harper really deserve to be in? No. Schwarber does. Harper doesn't. And so there's 3 guys right there. How can Goodman not be in it? How? And normally I would not defend a Rockies player. If he had 27 and he had 18 at home, I'd be like, It sucks, but you wear it. He's got 18 on the road, Spilly. It's completely, unless there comes out that he told them through back channeling agents, which he doesn't strike me the kind of guy that would do that.
Nope.
Unless he did that, this is a complete snub of the highest order.
Now, to be fair, Jordan Walker has the fastest bat speed in baseball, so he'll run into some. The story's great for Jordan Walker. I'm with you when it comes to Bryce Harper. He was a legacy pick. So you have 2 Philadelphia Phillies, which, granted, this is in Philadelphia. So I understand, from a marketing standpoint, what's easier to market, Bryce Harper or Hunter Goodman. But again, you're talking about we're taking a player, and then we're discounting the fact that, well, I mean, no one's going to notice that the kid from Colorado isn't in. It's going to be, wiped under the table.
Nobody's going to notice that we didn't pick the guy. But he's an all-star. Like, Caglione's not an all-star. If he was an all-star with 15 home runs and was hitting .315 with 40 extra base hits, fine. He's not. He might be next year. And you can tell me he puts on a BP show. I've seen it when he's in college at Florida. But it doesn't mean he has to go this year.
No.
Like, I get it. They're trying to eventicize this. It's a drama with, they want to make it an appealing thing with a little side of drama and all. But again, then either pick the most deserving or just say you're not picking the most deserving. You're feeling it like a movie cast. So you want more local guys. You want the guy with the BP show. You want the comeback story in Jordan Walker. And so the one guy that gets screwed is the catcher with 27 home runs, who, by the way, is an all-star. It'd be one thing if he wasn't an all-star. He's an all-star, a legitimate all-star. And you're just, no one will notice. And that's what you said is what pisses me off about it. No one will notice because it's the Rockies. That stuff gets old, especially when you guys were good.
Yep. So there you go. It'll be on Netflix tonight. And maybe Netflix had more hand in this thing than the league. I don't know. But regardless, that'll do it for us tonight. And hopefully it's a wonderful home run derby. And, down the road, I mean, the fact that Hunter Goodman might not ever be in this position again to ever be in a home run derby. So really frustrating, but at the same time, there are some good things going on, and specifically with the draft. So we'll end up seeing, hopefully some of these players down the road that are all-stars too. All right, Troy, great show. We'll be back at it again. If you want to send us any questions for the show, we'd love to answer them. You can follow us at Mile High Territory and send in your questions, and we'll certainly answer on the next one. See you, Troy.